Greetings once again, guys. Back in Sydney and back at the movies once again. And tonight we are at the Australian premiere of Blueback. It's the new film directed by Robert Connolly, based off the book by wonderful Australian writer Tim Winton. This film stars Bana, Mia Wasikowska and relative newcomer Ilsa, Fogg. Extremely looking forward to this film, and we're just about to head in and check this film out. Hopefully you enjoy the footage in the meantime, and I'll be back after this to let you know my thoughts on the film and to have a bit of a chat about the production. Talk to you soon.
Second nature. Absolutely. Radha, looking please. Move down again. Thank you.
Can I get everybody's eyes over here, thanks?
Not yet. Come back.
Straight ahead, please. Thank you.
And just to me, please.
Excuse me. What's your name? Excuse me. Can we get everybody in the middle?
They will. Don't worry.
Just eyes over here, everyone. Eyes over here.
Okay, now we got some new additions. Can everyone just look to me?
We can't see you, just come out a bit.
Come to me. Come up there. Thank you. This way, good. Right here. I'll try and wait. Better? Good, thanks. Popcorn? Let's get some popcorn.
Thank you all. It's great to see so many people here. It has been one of the great and incredibly joyful experiences in my career to make this film. To work above and beneath the water and to explore adapting Tim Winton's extraordinary novella, Blueback. One of the things that is so critical in a film is the cast, and with the help of my beautiful wife Jane, who's the casting director, we have assembled some actors that I would like to bring to the stage. The planets have lined up, everyone. We have all of our key cast here tonight, which is very exciting. Yeah, I know. And one of the things that I love about cinema, and I always have, is a mix of new faces, established faces, people you haven't seen for a while, people doing roles you haven't seen them do before. And so I'd love to bring everyone down. There's two actors here who are straight out of acting school, their first role. I love that their first roles with me because they're going to have massive careers and they'll always remember that they were with me first. Nicholas Paranamos and Albert Mulwani. Come down. Incredible to work with you both. Look forward to working with you again. I did say to an actor one time when they did a similar situation in the first film, there is one time in your career when I'm allowed to employ you again and pay you the same as I did on this film. Okay, this film has a central character, Abby. You see her at 3 different ages. Gifting my career to work with these three. I'm going to bring down the 3 Abbies. One of our great actors, 2 emerging actors, incredible trio, Ariel, Donoghue, Ilsa, Fogg, Mia Wasikowska, please come down. I've got to say, these 3 learnt how to free dive, Mia learned how to scuba dive, they do all their own stunts. One of the most terrifying moments for me was the shark mitigation drone circling around the boat and them going, there's no sharks, and then me asking Ariel to swim in the ocean. But what you guys gave this film and the commitment and the way you threw into, so much into the character, emotionally and physically, was incredible. Thank you all. It's incredible. It's kind of a strange thing as a director when you invite people to kind of come on a journey as actors, and you'll see in the film it's quite extraordinary what this trio of amazing actors have done. Playing their mother, 2 actors, incredible. I don't know if any of you read Tim Winton's piece in the Good Weekend, but he talked about how he wrote this book to be a portrait of mothers, and in some ways I dedicate this film to my own mother. I'd like to bring Radha Mitchell and Liz Alexander down. Radha turned up on day 1. There's this moment where you don't quite know, you've rehearsed, you've discussed the character, you don't know quite what's going to happen. And as you'll see in the film, Radha turned up on day 1 and this performance opened up in front of me. I love this feeling as a director when you call action, you don't know what's going to happen. That's what it's like directing Radha. It was amazing. and the fact that Radha and Liz work so seamlessly together as the same person across a generation is wonderful. We needed a love interest in this film, and particularly for the young Abbies. Pedro Jackson, come down. Pedro's the most extraordinary actor. He's one of the leads in a film called Sweethearts, which opens April 13. He's got a massive career ahead. Thanks, Pedro. He's played in the film by Clarence Ryan as an older character who's based viewing here today. And to just complete it, because I can't believe everyone's here, my very, very, very dear friend, my creative partner, my business partner, and Eric Bana. Eric did 2 weeks quarantine, grew a beard as you'll see, and learned how to drive a boat, which is different to driving a car for this. Just to finish up though, I just want to thank my producing team. I've got this incredible producing team, Liz, James, Robert and Tara. They worked amazingly. And there's also here tonight a group of investors that have supported me quite profoundly, led at the helm by my friend Andy Meyer. I can't thank you all enough. One of the things that as Australian filmmakers we have is the incredible support from the government too, and Vic Screen and Screen West and Screen Australia. I think the fact that you can see Australian films and that Roadshow can release this on January 1, biggest day of the year, big Australian family film, is because of all that support. Can't thank you all enough. Let's get the film rolling. Thank you.
Greetings once again, guys. Just got out of the Australian premiere of the brand new Australian film directed by Robert Connolly and based off the book by Tim Winton, and that is Blueback. It stars Radha Mitchell and Mia Wasikowska and also Eric Bana. This film really quite interesting and quite compelling, considering there's probably not a lot that goes on in the plot of this film, but just the way Robert Connolly directs it and writes the script, I think it's really a masterwork. The strengths of this film really lie in its visuals and some fantastic cinematography by Andrew Comas and some wonderful underwater photography by Rick Raffici. Now, some of the images, I kid you not, are just majestic, and it really kind of creates this wonderful, amazing palette to kind of absorb that doesn't involve any CGI. These are kind of actual real images, and it's just a lot of it is us as an audience going on a dive with these characters and kind of really appreciating the majestic elements of the reefs off the coast of Western Australia, and I think it's just a wonderful kind of way it's conveyed on screen. I thought it was completely fantastic. Also, that's accompanied by this wonderful musical score composed by Nigel Westlake and played by the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. It just accompanies the images so well. It's got this ethereal underwater kind of element to it, but it's just got this haunting kind of melody as well, and I particularly kind of loved it. I think it's just a fantastic job in the composition of it by Nigel Westlake. Now, I have to say, wonderful character performance by Eric Bana in the role of Macca. He's not probably on screen enough, but he's just so enjoyable to watch, just providing this kind of Aussie charm that really keeps the audiences intrigued. It's just a really lovable character, and that's a nice juxtaposition opposite Dora, who's played by Radha Mitchell, who kind of offers the same essence, but the only thing is she's a little bit more quirky and a little bit more feisty because of her passion for conservation and just really saving this kind of area that she calls her home and preserving this wonderful kind of marine life. Also, the title suggests the character of Blueback, and there is this giant fish essentially that kind of interacts with the main protagonist of Abby, who's the daughter to Dora, and it's just magic on screen. It's just this wonderful kind of character that you feel for so much, even though it just swims around and has really no dialogue to it. I guess it's just the way it interacts with Abby, the character, and the various iterations of her. Obviously, this story takes place over a decent period of time as Abby's growing up through puberty and then into her teens and then into adulthood, and those roles are played very well by Mia Wasikowska, and also a newcomer, Ilsa Fogg, who does a really fantastic job as Abby in her teenage years. And also I have to give credit to Ariel Donoghue. She's not in it as much, but she plays about a 10-year-old Abby in this, and she just really offers some really heartwarming elements to her performance, and I really appreciated that. I thought it was a fantastic performance by all three, particularly Mia Wasikowska. She is just really fantastic in this. Also, just the way everything is stitched together, and just the visuals and the musical composition and just the performances, I think it's just really worthwhile seeing in the cinema, just for those wonderful kind of images. It really is this serene plot that kind of really is emotional in some moments, and also kind of tells this really heartwarming story that would be appropriate for families, but appropriate for adults in kind of making them contemplate different things about preserving the oceans and the reefs without being too preachy at all. And I think that's just masterful work by director and writer Robert Connolly. He deserves a lot of credit for this, and the cast and crew deserves a lot of credit as well. Congratulations to them all. This fish, the way they've kind of created this character, I think it's wonderful. Not on screen overly that much, but it's not CGI. It is actually a puppet that is controlled by 4 different operators, and just the way it's been composited onto screen and the way it interacts with the main characters, particularly Ilsa Fogg and Mia Wasikowska, I thought it was really magic and really heartwarming, and it really makes you feel for this character that kind of could be quite inanimate, but really it's quite compelling, and I think that really tells you how well this story is constructed and how much of a grasp on storytelling that Robert Connolly has, and I think it's just wonderful work by all the cast and crew. Definitely check this out. It comes out on New Year's Day in Australia, but if you're overseas, definitely check out when you can see this film. Aside from that, I'm about to head off, but definitely see this film while you can, and definitely see it in the cinema, just to absorb these wonderful images on screen, and just to take in this wonderful musical score that accompanies these really wonderful Australian performances. Can't give this film enough credit. It really did surprise me, and Western Australia's probably got a lot of future for cinema if this is what it's to go by. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys at the next one.